Well, hello and welcome, folks. Welcome to my world. Welcome to Talk Leadership with Cedrick. You know, where everybody needs a little TLC. And I am Cedrick LaFleur, your host. I'm excited to be here with you tonight. And man, we are going to have a really good show tonight. I have a dynamic guest with me tonight, and we're going to get into who our guest is and what he does and all that good stuff. All I know is, folks, you better just buckle up and get your ink pen and paper ready, because this young man is going to bring some stuff hard and heavy to you. You know, Talk Leadership with Cedrick is where we focus on leadership and personal growth with business leaders, educators, and local thought leaders. Our goal is to introduce our audience to leaders who are making an impact with innovative ideas. You know, our guiding leadership principle is the law of buy-in, which says people buy into the leader, then they buy into the vision. You see, Mahatma Gandhi spent decades teaching others how to gain their freedom through peaceful efforts and nonviolence. Eventually, the people of India bought into his vision and were able to carry it out. You see, the lesson here is people don't buy into what you do, they buy into why you do it. So people will gravitate to the leader before the dream. Now, you know, the boss, Bruce Springsteen himself, said, a time comes when you need to stop waiting for the man or woman you want to become and start being the man or woman you want to be. Tonight, I have a guest with me who is doing just that. He's doing the stuff that he wants to do so he can be the man that he wants to be for his family. And I'm telling you, you're going to be impressed with this young guy. Now, you know, every night I like to do a proper introduction of my guests. So let me do a proper introduction of Mr. Westley Arden Morris. And Westley is a true survivor. Now, check out his story. See, growing up around an immense amount of violence, crime, prostitution, drug use, and divorce, Westley developed a very low self-esteem, anger and resentment toward himself and others as a result of watching his mother being arrested for running a prostitution enterprise out of their massage business at the age of 12 years old. Wesley turned to drugs and alcohol to cope with his emotions at the age of 13. These unfavorable results of this drug use showed up in his life in so many ways, and rather quickly. By the time he was 19 years old, he had already spent time in juvenile detention centers, alternative behavior schools, and lost his driver's license for 22 years as a result of 3 DUIs and numerous underage drinking charges. At the age of 15, get this, Wesley walked into a room to find his older sister blue in the face and unresponsive due to a heroin overdose. Now that had to be traumatic. Now, he was forced to learn that life can be cruel and unfair place at a very young age, at an early age. Now, after failing out of school and trying to run from these issues, Wesley moved to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at the age of 25. Not long after that, he became homeless, hopeless, heroin addicted, and was reduced to an animalistic level, panhandling and defecating in the Kensington section of North Philadelphia. Now, through this process of change and development, he began to change his habits and the circle of influence and his mindset. So he started using this now. In 2015, Wesley heard the calling from the divine voice that said, go help your mother. With no formal sales or business education, Wesley grew up in the same massage business, 1,017% in 5 years during a global pandemic. Now, folks, you say it can't be done. You say, oh man, I don't know. Wesley, he's here tonight to tell you it can be done, right? So all of this riding, all while he was riding a bicycle, 8 miles to and from work. Wesley has now grown 3 successful six-figure businesses and has helped thousands of people to believe that what once seemed impossible is now possible. Let me say that again. He has grown 3 six-figure businesses to help thousands of people believe that what once seemed impossible is now possible. He is a business owner, a father, a husband, a leader, a motivational speaker, a consultant, and most of all, he's your friend. Now, Westley has a story of hope, resilience, perseverance, determination, and commitment. Westley captured his audience with his energetic style of speaking and adding value to his clients by giving them the tools they need to overcome obstacles. Now, talking about somebody that know how to overcome obstacles, man, this guy does. He transfers his emotions to others through his storytelling, and he's best known to cause even the hardest man to tear up. So, guys, get your paper towels ready tonight. Let's welcome Mr. Westley Morris to the show.
Wow.
How you doing, Westley?
Oh, I am blessed and highly favored. Thank you. How are you?
Oh, brother, I am always doing great. I'm excited to be here. I'm just excited to be alive, and I'm excited that you're on our show tonight. So let's just get running and do what we do.
Sounds good, man. Thank you for the introduction. I'm excited to be here, and it's a pleasure to know you and to be a part of this and to add value to the audience, man. So let's go.
Awesome. So I'm not even going to start with, hey, tell us your story, because I read the story so people can hear it. What I want to ask you around your story, man, what was the pivoting point that made you say, I got to change.
Yes.
I got to do something different.
The pivotal, if I could put a pin on one moment in my timeline, it would be this one night. It's one thing to have a problem. I don't care what problem it is, whether it's an eating problem or a gambler, dishonesty, whatever your problem is. It's one thing to have a problem, but not to be able to talk to anybody about it. That's a whole nother other story, right? Because we all have problems, but the shame and guilt as a result of living whatever the problem is, or the pride and ego that doesn't allow us to ask for help, magnifies it. So this one night, I'm 27 years old, and my mom walks into the room that I'm in as I'm about to, intravenously use drugs, and the pain on her face, in her eyes, was more than I could handle, brother. And in that moment, I dropped to my knees, and Cedrick, I prayed like I've never prayed before in my life. And it was the most humble prayer. And it was, please, God, help me. And, and I've been evolving and growing and changing ever since.
Wow. I know that, folks, as you listen to his story and his background that I read, some of you have experienced some of those things. Some of you have never experienced some of those things, right? But most of you probably haven't experienced all of those things in one lifetime, right? You may know someone that had this, someone that had this. This young man had it all thrown at him. And today, he's on the other side of it to tell you that all you got to do is change a quarter of an inch and you're going to make a big difference, right?
That's right.
Now, tell us, Westley, because people buy and they listen to people they know, like, and trust. So tell us something fun and interesting about yourself.
My something interesting is that my spirit animal is a bear. I'm a bear. I scratch my back on posts, and my daughter, my 10-year-old stepdaughter, she calls me Wessie Bear. She's been calling me Wessie Bear since she was 4 years old. So, I like to get on all fours and growl and and I have a lot of bear tendencies. So I guess my spirit animal is a bear. And then another fun fact is that, 80% of my transportation is done by bicycle.
Wow. Still today?
Yeah, still today. Yep, still today.
Wow. All right. Well,
I
I
got
know
the
it's hard in those winter months, right?
I got the calves to prove it, Cedric. You should see them.
Okay. All right. All right. I got it. I understand. Now, before we dive in, I got to ask this, because you're in Pennsylvania, and I'm a diehard Pittsburgh Steeler fan. So
Yeah.
I know you're gonna tell me that you love the Steelers.
I, I do not. I do not. No, if I had to pick a team, I would pick the Eagles for sure. And
Okay.
I'm biased. So
Yeah.
our clients were the Eagles. So they were, they paid the bill.
Okay. All right. I understand. I know, and you're in Philadelphia area, so if you'd have said Steelers, it'd be a problem at your house tonight.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I get it. I
Right.
get it. Wink, wink, Steelers, though, right? Uh, so Wesley, tell us a little bit about your business needs, so our audience can understand, what you do and who are the clients you service.
Yeah. So, to answer that question, 6 years ago, um, like the story says, through divine intervention, I walked away from the security of working for someone else. I was an ironworker welder. I was a construction worker. I had ego the size of this room, and I was the epitome of that. Um, and I was extremely unhappy. I was making about $80,000 a year. Coming from the lifestyle that I came from, $80,000 a year was, it's like you hit the lotto, right? And I had all the social acceptability that says that this person should be content or happy, but I wasn't. And I realized at 29 years old that success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. Meaning you can never fix a spiritual void with a physical thing, no matter how hard you try or how big the physical thing is. It will never suffice. So I did the craziest thing I've ever done in my life. I walked away from the security of working for someone else, and all that comes with that, and the girlfriend and the job and the apartment. And I sold my car after driving without a license for 9.5 years. And I said, I'm going to do this right. For once in my life, I'm going to do this right. I didn't know what this was, but it had to be better than the mindset that I was in previously. And I got this voice that said, go help your mom. So my mom's a massage therapist. And to this day, I still own a massage therapy company in Pennsylvania. And our niche is that we provide therapeutic massage therapy. But what makes us really special is the energy in which we do it in. So I tell all of my therapists, my entire team of 11 people, this is a self-development program with a compensation plan attached to it, meaning you will get better in all areas of your life if you choose to work here. Because this is not about rubbing backs. This is not about, rubbing lotion. This is about getting better in every area of your life. And then that energy will pour into your clients and they will come back. So that is really what makes us a niche, is that we care wholeheartedly.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So for people that are in the Philly area, where can they, go to your place of business and get a massage?
Yeah, if you're ever in the Lehigh Valley area or the Philadelphia area, just Google search Saucon Valley Massage, or you can go to sauconvalleymassage.com. We have online scheduling, or you can give us a call at 610-838-2707.
Awesome. Absolutely love that. Now, I know also a part of your business is growth and development, speaking to audiences and to organizations. So I want to kind of pivot here and kind of talk about what you do in this lane, right? Because you're making some big impacts. I know one of the areas we'll start off with is Westley is going to be live, and he's a member, one of the mentors in the six-figure mentorship program. And Wesley is going to be hosting a call live. Tell us about that call, Wesley, because we want to make sure people get that on their calendar early.
Yes, I am super excited for this call. It is May 10th. It is 8 p.m. The dial-in information will be in the chat, and I will be your mentor that night, adding value to the audience. And I haven't locked it down exactly, what the topic of conversation is going to be, but I'm leaning towards, becoming the person that you need to be to deliver the message that God has put in your life.
Oh man, say that again. I love it.
I haven't locked it down yet, but I'm leaning towards, becoming the person that you need to be to deliver the message that God has put in your life. And I believe that, I truly, in my heart of hearts, believe that every storm, every experience, every life event that we go through is never for us, Cedrick. It's always to reach back and help someone else. And what has to happen is you have to compartmentalize. You have to dig through your experience of life, dig out the principles that you use to get through those obstacles so that you can adequately communicate them to other people so that they can use them to go through whatever obstacles that they need to. And
Wow.
and that only happens with self-development. One of the biggest fears of people is being on stage, right? And the reason that we're scared is because we're thinking about us. And when we pivot that focus onto serving others, that fear goes away. Case in point, March 17th, 2020. I've got a team of about 7 therapists at this point. I'm growing this family business and I'm doing what I have to do. And we're dead stopped. Boom. Shut down, right? No income, no answers, no idea what's going on. And for 2 weeks, I stayed home and I was feared up. I was scared. I didn't know what was going on. And the cure-all to fear is massive action. So I got on my bike, I rode to work, and I did a complete renovation on my entire business in the 3.5 months we were shut down. I donated 450 meals to the local elementary school. I donated 150 meals to the local nurses at the hospital. And the reason why is because the quickest way out of self-centered fear is to put the focus on someone else. And I'm going to express that. I'm going to share that. And I'm going to show you how to do that on May 10th.
May 10th, folks. Make sure you put that on your calendar. I'm going to put that back up on the screen. We're going to remind you again a little bit late as well. But Tuesday, May 10th, 7 to 9 Central Time, 8 to 10 Eastern Time. The number's in the chat. It's scrolling across the screen, but also put it in the chat. So all you have to do is copy and paste it out of the chat. If you're on LinkedIn, it's in the chat on LinkedIn as well. So Wesley, tell us, why is, entrepreneurship, becoming a entrepreneur, why was that something that, hey, you had to do? And you said you left your paying job, your ching, and to become an entrepreneur. Why was that so important for you?
That's a great question. And for me, it's very deep. When you told my bio, you talked about when I was 12 years old and watching my mom get carried out in handcuffs. I watched my mom put her blood, sweat, and tears into the business. That woman stayed in the same business underneath the same name in the same town, doing the same industry that she was blackballed in. And here's an amazing story. She did the wrong thing, but she changed her ways and she made that 1/4-inch turn again and again and again and kept showing up. 3 years after that arrest in 2000, 3 years later, I come home and Donovan McNabb, the head quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, is walking down the hall. My mom went on to be the head massage therapist for the Philadelphia Eagles from 2000 to 2012, 3 years after she had pretty much seen the darkest day in her entire life. So when God told me to go help my mom, Cedrick, it wasn't really about, the glam and the glitz and the watches and all this stuff. It was about taking my family business and making sure that it never, ever gets talking about in a bad light ever again. So it was called to me. If it was up to me, man, I'd just, I'd do something else. This is hard. It's hard.
Right. I can definitely understand.
Right.
Hey, if you could relive one day from your past, which day would that be and why?
Ooh, probably my wedding day. Yeah. I would
Wedding day.
relive that day. Yeah. That moment
Okay.
right there. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So the wife must be listening somewhere.
Did you hear that? I said my wedding day.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I like that. So,
Yeah.
hey, Wesley, if a client was sitting here right now, or if I pressed the button, ding dong, and one of your clients came walking through the door,
Mm-hmm.
what would they say about you and the service that you deliver?
They would say, I've been many other places and nobody compares. Nobody adds the value that you do. In all three of my businesses, nobody cares as much as you about us, Wes. Definitely. Yeah.
Wow, awesome. I
Hey,
see
man.
one of your friends showed up. Matthew says, Wes, so proud to
Ah,
call you a friend.
my brother.
Awesome. Thanks for tuning in, Matthew. Appreciate that. And we had a couple more people come in here. Miss Bernadine. Bernadine and I were together earlier today doing a disc workshop. So thanks for tuning in tonight, Bernadine.
Hey,
So,
Bernadine.
Wes, as you think about entrepreneurs, man, they face a lot of different challenges right now.
Mm.
Um, but what's been one of the biggest challenges that you faced as an entrepreneur? And I know you've gone on to build several successful businesses, but help us understand, because some entrepreneurs think that, hey, they see your success and they see they don't really struggle in their business. Tell us about one of your struggles and challenges in your business.
You know, one of my biggest struggles in entrepreneurialism is leadership. And I shouldn't say it's a struggle, but it's difficult to guide people, to get people to buy in, because we're humans, right? We're not robots. On any given day we could fall short. So to get a team of people consistently moving in the same direction day after day, year after year, that takes a lot of focus. It takes a lot of intentionality, and it takes a lot of consistency, um, and intentionality. So over time, I realized that just leading people, especially through difficult times like we faced in the last couple of years, that has been the hardest. I have a newfound respect for people in a leadership position. Post COVID, definitely 100%.
Yeah, well, there's been a whole lot of challenges that people faced during COVID, and if you were a leader that could stand the test that was ahead of you, definitely we know that you have a lot of fortitude, resiliency, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's awesome that you say that. Now we know, Wesley, that talking about leaders, leaders come in all different types of packages with different types of strengths, right?
Mm-hmm.
What strengths do you feel that are important to? Uh, what strengths do you feel are important for successful leaders to have?
I live by this one statement from John, from John Maxwell, and it's people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I care. My team knows that if there's 3 pieces of rice on the table, I'll go hungry. My mom, my family, then my team. Leaders eat last, right? Um, it's important for my team to see the vision, to buy into why I do. You said it perfectly. People don't buy into what you do, they buy into why you do what you do. So everyone gets a sit down with me, maybe the first week, second week, and they get my heartfelt story. They get it straight from me, and they understand, why I ride my bike 8.5 miles to get to work, why I did, 12-hour days for 6 days a week for 5 years, right? There's not one person that I will ask to do something that I'm not willing to do myself. And, I grew up on a farm. Or, I'm sorry, I come from a farm lifestyle. We still own a 365-acre working farm, and on that farm, you don't eat until your animals are fed, right? So you don't eat breakfast, you don't eat lunch, you don't eat dinner until those animals are fed. And like I said, leaders eat last. So my team comes first, 100%.
Wow, I like that. So, folks, we're talking to Westley Morris, and he has an amazing journey to get him to where he is today. Overcome a whole lot of challenges, folks. If you think that, hey, you faced a lot of different things, and you might have, and you think that you can't overcome things, maybe you can't. You think that life can get hard, maybe it did for you. You're sitting here looking to a young man who has overcome all those challenges, and what he's telling us tonight that you can. What he's telling us tonight that you just have to be willing to fight for it, right? You just have to be willing, like Matthew said earlier. You have to find a way to push through. That's what we're talking about tonight, right? Resilience. Go check Westley out on his website at westleymaris.com. You'll see it scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Go check him out. See all the things that he does. So if you could choose only one long-term goal, either to own a house or to travel the world, which one of those would it be?
Do I have to pick between the two?
You can pick another one.
My life goal is to live a life of significance. That's it. Just to wake up at 80 years old and say, my life matters, and someone else's life is better because of it. Wow. That's my life goal. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. Right. Definitely.
I like that. And some people, when they hear that, Westley, they go, well, what does that mean to live a life of significance? Folks, let me tell you what. You see, success is adding value to yourself. So we can all be successful and add value to ourselves every day with something. Significance means, and what Westley is saying is adding value to somebody else. And that's the difference, folks, in what Westley is saying tonight. His long-term goal is just to live a life of significance. That's a servant leader right there, right? So we're glad that you're tuned in tonight, and we want you to keep adding comments, and we'll keep putting them up on the screen, and make sure that you take some nuggets, though. Wesley, you said it earlier before we start the show. You said, "Hey, Cedrick, not everything is for you. Sometimes things are for other people." So what I want our audience to do, as they get some of the nuggets from you tonight, I don't want you to hold on to them, folks. I want you to share them with somebody else. You see, because you may be doing good. You may be fine. But what Wesley is saying, he's not speaking to you. He's speaking to your brother, your cousin, your uncle, your auntie, your grandmother, your grandpa. That's who he's speaking to. So make sure you share this information. Go to his website, wesleymorris.com, and check him out. Now, Wesley, you know, so many times new entrepreneurs want to give up. They want to throw in the towel. You know, what advice would you give someone right now? They could be sitting, listening to this show right now, but they're thinking about, should I give up or should I keep going?
Shouldn't even be an option. Shouldn't even be an option. You should take that idea right up out of your mind. And two things. Remember why you started. Remember why you started. And you're almost there. You know, so many times when we're in our darkest moments, when it's the hardest, a breakthrough is about to happen. You're right there. Hold on. You're right there.
Yes, absolutely. 100% agree with you. You know, Wesley, we have a segment on the show called Would You Rather? So we're going to play a round of Would You Rather. And audience members, you can participate in this as well. What I want you to do is when I give you the Would You Rather, you type yours in the comments and Wesley will tell you his along the way. So let's get running on this, Wesley. All right. Would you rather pick the year that you die or pick the way that you die?
Ooh. Probably the year. Probably the year.
The year?
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather have a sports stadium named after you or have a university named after you?
I'd have to say a university. Yeah, I'm not too big in the sports, but yeah, I would love to have a university named after me for sure.
Okay, all right. Monica Madden said, she don't know which one she want to have.
That's a tough one, right? University, yes, I agree with you.
All right. So would you rather have free Apple products forever or free Wi-Fi wherever you go?
Apple products, definitely.
Apple products. All right.
Yes. Keith Smith said he would like a university.
Yeah.
Oh, Joetta would like a sports stadium. Of course.
Matthew said he wants Wi-Fi. Bernadine says she wants Wi-Fi. You guys are not Apple users. Come on. I want the Apple products.
How about it?
So would you rather fulfill your biggest wish or resolve your biggest regret?
Biggest wish, definitely. Yeah.
The wish?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I see they're coming in. We got some Apple people out there. All right.
I love it. I love to see my friends on the show. That's awesome.
Would you rather own your own private island or your own private jet?
Island. Nah, the jet. Definitely. Yeah. Wait, do I get free gas?
See, he said, well, wait a minute. That's depending on if I have to pay for the gas or not.
Right. What year is it?
Now look at Monica. Monica says she wants both. Now see, you can't be greedy, Monica.
Hey, listen, there's nothing wrong with one more. There you go, Monica.
All right, let's give a few more here. So, here you go. Would you rather have free gas for 25 years or have your dream car?
I ride a bicycle. This one's tough.
Well, you got the jet, so you got so at least for 25 years you can fly the jet somewhere with free gas.
I give my wife the gas. Yeah, we'll get free gas for sure.
Okay,
yeah. Gas all around. Gas is on me.
Yeah. See, you know it's amazing, but now that the gas prices are high, everybody wants gas.
I know it. Yeah, see that? Everybody wants gas.
All right, here. So 2 more. Would you rather be a ninja or a pirate?
Ooh, probably a pirate. Yeah. Yep, definitely.
Pirate.
Yeah. I feel like pirates are like gangsters. So just cruise around the Caribbean, you know, just chill, take whatever I want. Definitely.
Okay, all right. Everybody else want to be that ninja because they want to throw that star. Everybody has the desire to throw that star. All right, so here's the last one. Everybody get ready. This is the last one. Would you rather have $1 million in Amazon gift cards or $100,000 in real money?
$100,000 in real money.
100,000 in real money. Okay, all right. Let's see what the audience has to say. What the people have to say, Wesley. They thinking on that one.
Exactly, Jason. We know how to invest. That's right, Jason.
See, the way you can buy everything on Amazon today,
Mhm.
Amazon is probably gonna be able to invest real soon on Amazon.
Yes, my man. He'll do it.
Awesome. So Bernadine says she gonna take those Amazon gift cards and she gonna sell them. They're gonna be like the old food stamps.
I like her. Bernadine Martinez. Oh, that's great.
Awesome. So thank you, Wesley, and the audience for playing that round of Would You Rather.
That's
I
fun.
always like to bring a little bit of fun to the show.
Mhm.
So, why is it important, Wesley, for people to continually grow? Now, one of the things you said earlier was, hey, you tell new hires that they not only are just going to work in your business, but they're also going to grow, right? So why do you think that growth is so important?
Well, I by the way, I loved all these questions. What people don't understand is that growth is inevitable. Everything is always changing form, from the concrete to the steel to me to the tree. Everything, we live in an ocean of motion. Nothing stands still. So everything is always changing form. The key is being intentional about where that growth is going. Maybe just that quarter inch in a positive direction, right?
Right.
So we are always growing. It's inevitable. You cannot get away from it. The question is, in which direction, right? So I think that's important, is setting the intention as to the direction that you're growing. For years, I grew in a negative way. Our minds are just like my garden outside. If I leave my garden right now and come in 3 months, it'll be all weeds. And that's exactly how my mind was. So I need to go in there. I need to pull out the weeds so that the fruit can grow. So the plants that can grow and bear fruit, right? So the same is true about ourselves and our lives. It's inevitable we're going to grow. Which direction?
Awesome. I like that. So, hey, help us understand, people see you and they hear about what you're doing. But give us one or two things that you learned about yourself being a business owner. But I want to take it a step farther. One or two things you learned about yourself being a business owner, but how can anybody apply any of those one or two things to themselves?
So the one thing that I learned about being a business owner is how important the numbers are. I think that it's a fatal mistake in not knowing your numbers, and not keeping good track of them. And the other thing that I realized in business is that I'd rather get paid 1% on the effort of 100 than 100% of my own, right? And Michael Gerber in the E-Myth, phenomenal book about business, right? Yeah,
Right.
you can't be the owner, the manager, and the service provider all in the same person. I did that. I tried, and I did it, but at the expense of my family, of my time, of everything. I mean, it was hard. And if I would have grasped that concept sooner, I would have been a lot better off. So, um, you know, leverage other people, help them grow. If you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want every single time.
Yes.
Mhm.
Absolutely agree with that wholeheartedly. Um, you know, we talked a little bit about it a little bit earlier, but we're both a part of the Six Figure Mentorship
Mhm.
um, program, right? And anytime Paul Martinelli calls and say, "Hey, do you want to
Mhm.
run with us doing this?" Right? It's one of those things that you're gonna say yes to it, right?
Mhm.
But what made you decide to say yes? I'm gonna jump on and join this program.
I that's a phenomenal story, and I'll try to make it as short as possible. At the end of 2021, we had reached maximum capacity at the massage business. So I realized that, I'm a high I. I am a business builder. I motivate people, I inspire people, but I am not a business maintainer. So once I realized that we had hit maximum capacity, it's almost like somebody took the battery right out of my back, and I didn't have my drive anymore. I didn't have that get up and go. I just wasn't inspired. And Dr. Rick Roberto put me on to Fully Resourced, Paul's program, Fully Resourced, phenomenal program. And I've been in the self development space for about 10 years now. I've never seen anything like this. It is incredible work. It's his life's work. So I spent every day for about 3 months at 5 a.m. waking up, watching this guy, Paul Martinelli, and this Fully Resourced. And Cedric, I fell in love with this man, with this content. And when the doors opened up for mentorship and I went to his house to meet him, I fell in love with him even more. Right? This was like, this was the guy. This was, I mean, Bob Proctor, Les Brown, John Maxwell, like Paul's the man. So
Right.
when I sent him over some of my content, some of my speaking work, expecting criticism back, and I get an email saying, "Wow, these are really good. I want you to be one of the mentors on my six-figure speaking platform." Whew, I didn't have to think. It was a no-brainer, absolutely. And and how people can use that is just say yes, just go for it, figure it out on the way down, just go for it, and fail forward. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely love that. Yeah, the program. I mean, there are so many phenomenal speakers. There's 25 different mentors that's a part of the program, right? And every Tuesday and Saturday, folks, just write on your calendar: Tuesday and Saturday, Tuesday and Saturday, Tuesday evenings, 7 to 9 Central Time, 8 to 10 Eastern Time. Saturday mornings, 7 to 9 Central Time, or 8 to 10 Eastern Time. Those are the 2 days you need to know. The number is in the chat, but I'm gonna put it up on the. I'm gonna let it scroll as well across the bottom of the screen for a while. You need to write that number down, folks. You need to have this in your Rolodex so that Tuesday night, 7 to 10 Central Time, Saturday morning, 7 to 9. I mean 7 to 9, and then Saturday morning, 7 to 9 a.m. Central Time, you need to be on those calls. I mean, we've had some phenomenal people on there. I got in one week and did a couple things, but we've had some other phenomenal speakers. And tomorrow night, for all you veterans out there, and Bernadine, I know that you're a veteran. For all you veterans out there, you need to be on the line, tuned in, because we're going to have a veterans panel tomorrow
Mhm.
night. So that's Tuesday, April 12th, 7 to 9 p.m. Central Time, 8 to 10 Eastern Time. The numbers the bottom of the screen. It's in the chat as well. You don't have to register for anything. We're not selling you anything. There's not going to be any offer to buy anything. You can't buy anything on the call. All this panel is going to be doing is mentoring and answering your questions about your business, how to do things, why you should do something, and what to do. And I know some of the veterans that are on that panel, and trust me, you're going to want to hear what they have to say. Miss Camille Stevens is phenomenal. Mike Leitner is phenomenal as well. So there's 6 people on this panel. You need to be on that line tomorrow night. Just, if nothing else, support your veterans, right? They're going to be on that line. So that's Tuesday, April 12th, 7 to 9 p.m. Central Time, 8 to 10 Eastern Time. So, Wes, what was the last thing that got you excited, so excited that you couldn't sleep?
It's probably this call.
Oh, he's a sales guy. He's a sales guy. Thank you, Bernadine, for having that, putting that on your schedule. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be a phenomenal thing.
Just to add to that segment, that whole 6-figure mentorship program over the course of about 90 days, I have tried to, tally up the amount of value that is jam-packed into all those calls, and just throwing a dart, I'd have to say there's probably over $100,000 worth of value in just for free in those in that time period. That's an incredible amount of value, free of charge. Like, yes, why wouldn't you get on there? It's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to miss that call. So you have mentors, and I know that Paul's one of your mentors, but let's talk just outside of this space, mentors that you may have. Give us one thing that you've learned from your mentor.
One of my mentors is a phenomenal woman. Her name is Joetta Clark Diggs. She's a 4-time Olympian, and her father was Dr. Joe Clark, who is also the main character he was the principal in the movie Lean on Me by Morgan Freeman. And one of the things that she told me that her father passed down to her is that in the presence of greatness, the worst thing you can do is open your mouth. And so many times we listen with the intention of responding rather than listening for the intention of learning.
Wow. That one right there, folks. I told you you're going to get some nuggets that you need to write down and that you need to share with someone else. And that's one of those nuggets right there. Right there's Joetta right there, right on time, right on cue.
Yeah. And if your best is possible, if better is possible, then your best isn't good enough.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. I always use never settle for good when greatness is available, right?
Correct. Yes.
And that's very similar to what you're saying right there. That's awesome. A lot of times people hear of successes and they hear people doing some wonderful things out there, but they don't get a chance to see the struggle, right? And I know we talked about a lot of your struggle at the very beginning of the show, but some people may not have been tuned in just yet. So tell us quickly, Wes, of a failure that you had, and what lessons did you learn from that failure, and how did you overcome it?
I failed at I gave the college a try, and not to say that I won't go back, But when I was 19 years old, I was signed up for college to go for civil engineering, and I was going for someone else. I was going to um, live someone else's dream,
Mm.
and I don't know if I regret it because I don't have very many regrets. Even with the life that I've lived, I don't regret too much because it made me the man that I am. But I learned, find out who you are and be in alignment with your purpose, not what someone thinks your purpose should be. That's what I learned from that experience is to thine own self be true.
Yeah. Yeah. I absolutely love that. And here's the thing, folks. I love what Wesley just said. And one of the things that hold people back from reaching their goals, from going after their dream, is because mama didn't like that dream. Daddy didn't like that dream. My spouse didn't like that dream. My significant other didn't like that dream. My cousin didn't support my dream. My friends don't want to support my dream. I just want you to know, as an ordained minister, I'm telling you, God didn't give it to them.
Hmm.
He gave it to you for a reason. So
Hmm.
he's not going to ask you on that day when you go there. He's not going to say, well, how did you do with mama's dream? How did you do with daddy, Uncle Bubba, cousin Skeeter's dream? He's going to ask you, how well did you do with the dream, the talents, and the gifts that I gave you? So stop worrying about what everybody else think, whether they support your dream or not. Stop worrying about whether mama's going to bless it, big mama's going to bless it. Now look, you love mama, you love big mama, you love Madea, you love them all. But it doesn't matter if they support your dream or not. Only ones that matter support your dream is you. And that means you're going to have to be willing to ride that bike in the snow
Hmm.
8 miles every day. Well, 16 miles, really, right? 8 miles one way and 8 miles back. It's your dream, so you have to go after it. Man, I sure hope you take some of these nuggets that West has been throwing out here. I'm going to put his website back up on the screen. I sure hope you take some of these nuggets and you use them. You share them with someone else. If not, here's what you're doing. You're holding yourself back. There's blessings waiting for you when you share with somebody, when you take somebody else to another level.
Hmm.
That's all I want you to know. I want you to understand that. That's important. So, Wesley, I know one way that listeners can stay in contact with you is via your website at wesleymorris.com. What are other ways people can stay in contact with you?
Yeah. You can find me on Facebook. I'm very active on that platform. It's just my name, Westley Morris. You can find me on Instagram at West Morris Inspires. You can hit up the website right there, wesleymorris.com, and you can email me through there.
Those are awesome, awesome places. And then guess what, folks? Woo, I have another place you can catch him. May 10th on a six-figure mentorship call. Wes is going to bring down the house. He's going to be talking to you about speaking. You say you want to be a speaker. You want to get on the stage and speak. Well, guess what? This guy right here, he's going to come and talk to you about it. Tuesday, May 10th, 7 to 9 p.m. Central Time, 8 to 10 Eastern Time. Make sure you put that on your calendar. You get the number as you scroll across the bottom of the screen, and you can stay in contact with him. So my final question for you, Wesley, is this. If there was a book that was written about you, what would the title of the book be? And what would the summary in the back of the book say about you?
The title of the book would be Keep Pedaling.
Keep pedaling.
Keep pedaling.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And what would the summary say about you?
The summary would say, it would say one sentence, and it would say, it doesn't matter where you start. It matters where you finish.
That's it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter where you start. It only matters where you finish.
That's right.
I absolutely love that. So, folks, we've been listening to Wesley Morris. Wesley Morris
Yeah.
tonight, and I want you to understand something, folks. There are times in all of our lives where we have people come into our lives and they make a difference. They say something that make a difference. Wesley said a lot, gave us a lot of nuggets tonight, things that you can take and utilize. I want to make sure that you share, and I'm saying it for a reason over and over and over again, folks, because we miss our blessings when we don't share information, when we try to hold it in for ourselves. It's not meant for you to hold it for yourself. It's meant for you to share it with someone else. Help them go to another level. They may not know their way yet. And Wesley said some things tonight that may help them find their way. Keep pedaling. Now, when you tell them keep pedaling, you're also going to give them the backstory of Wesley's story, right? Keep pedaling. Go watch that video. Watch Wesley's interview so they understand why keep pedaling is so important to him, right? Then they're going to get inspired to keep pedaling.
Yeah.
You see, folks, this is why this is important.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to thank again you, Wesley. I'll give you the last word here tonight. But and you know, Joetta is still out there, and she says when you wrap your arms around yourself, that is a small package. Absolutely love that. I'm looking forward to speaking with Joetta one of these days. Wesley,
Amazing person.
I'm gonna give you the last word on the show, and then we're gonna close out for this evening.
Thank you, and it just came to my awareness that one other place that you could find me is YouTube. So just go into YouTube and search Wesley Morris, and I have some content on there, some speaking and some events in my life. And one of the things that came to mind, so many people want to be successful, right? So many people want to be entrepreneurs and business owners and this and that. And there's a formula, right? And I've broken it down to this. My mama told me this when I first started, right? 50% of success is just showing up. You can beat 50% of people simply by just showing up consistently every single day. What does that mean? That means showing up for yourself, showing up for your family, showing up for your team, showing up for your business. Just show up on the days when you don't want to. When you don't want to do it, you have to show up. Cedrick has a busy day. He shows up. So 50% of success is showing up. 40% is having a good attitude. 90% of success is showing up and having a good attitude. You can beat 90% of people by showing up and having a good attitude. That last 10%, you're going to have to fight for, baby. It's going to be a dog fight.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Love it, folks. You've been listening to Mr. Wesley Morris from Philadelphia, folks. And he was throwing down some things. I'm going to tell you, folks, good night. We'll see you next Monday night. We have another dynamic guest next Monday night at 6:30 Central Time. But as I always tell you, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And don't be on the menu. Thank you, guys, and good night.